Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Coding My Way In. And today I'm actually doing the video on a Friday night. I usually like to do it on Saturday mornings when I'm well rested, got back from the gym. But I had to do it tonight because I have so many things to do tomorrow. So making the video will probably become a lot more difficult. So I'm like, you know what? Let me do it tonight and schedule it for tomorrow morning, which will be Saturday, and get it out for you guys. So if you guys saw my video last week, you guys know by now that I'm finally working on my first personal project, and it's done using React and Tailwind CSS for styling. And the advice that I gotten from coding meetups and people from all over, people from that have subscribed to the channel and have given me advice in the comments, they all recommend work on something that you will like, or something that you are into, something that you're passionate about, something that you like. And I'm a big fan of Nissan cars. I actually own one myself, so I decided to make my first project about Nissan. So I decided to an extent clone the website, but eventually add little twists and turns of things of my liking, because there are certain things on their site that I probably want to do differently, but for the most part I want to be able to do a good application that resembles the Nissan website. And my goal is to take this project from front end all the way to full stack, and I'm currently working on the front end of the application, and little by little, as I progress with my skill set and my ability, I will grow the project little by little. So you guys will see every week an update of the project and where it's at. So without further ado, in case you guys want to see the code, the source code is on my GitHub. My GitHub is MrItzreal, and the project is called Nissan Experience. So this is their current website, and this is I like these effects that the website has. And again, I want to take inspiration from the website, but I also want to do things my own way. So I do like this part, but I'm not a big fan of this middle part with the video. Not because, again, like I said last week, not because I think it's difficult, but because I think I can do something else. I still don't know what it is, because I've been working on the front side, and I was doing the footer as well this week. So hopefully this upcoming week I'll be able to finally decide what I want to put in this section. So this is their website, and this is my website. So this is where we're at, and what I did, I mimic the beginning stage of the website, and these buttons still, they don't take you anywhere. But what I decided was, okay, let me work on things little by little, tackle things piece by piece. And so what I did was, last week, you guys go back to the video, this wasn't there. So I decided to add the effect of when you click. Nissan has 5 different categories of vehicles. So I wanted to, when you click, it gives you the vehicles that pertain to that category, like in their website. And I was able to do that using state and using a filter function to get the data of the vehicles. And I was able to get this effect, and it looks so cool. I'm very proud of this part. It took me some time to get the hang of it, but I was able to do it. Another thing that I added to the website was I added the footer, and these links actually don't take you anywhere, but I just wanted to keep the same style of the website. So I added this section, and then I added this effect that when I click, it changes to Spanish, into English. They actually have it as an accordion effect, but it's literally only 2 languages that they have. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna make it that when you click, the chevron changes to Spanish, and vice versa. So, and then I added the social icons on this section, and I'm very happy and proud for the results so far. It's taken me some time. Again, this is my first project that I'm working on my own, not following a tutorial, so I'm like learning as I go. But it's been very exciting. It's way better to work on your own personal project than like following a tutorial. It's more entertaining because you get to decide what you want to do with it, and it's cool to see that this is something that I can eventually put in my portfolio. I'm really working hard on this, and I added the effects for the vehicles when you change them, and it's so cool. I'm very proud of it. So let's go to the code. So basically what I decided to do was the project has been changing as my needs of the project change. I hope that makes sense. So I'm adding, removing things, and this is the app component. I'm using the home, which is this one, and then within the footer, I pass it here, and then what I have in the home, I'm actually having the home and the car preview being together, and that's why I'm able to pass it as just one component here, and it renders everything. So what I wanted to do was, at first, as you can see, a focus of mine is I want to have like a good folder structure. I want to make sure that everything is placed and everything makes sense, so when somebody else that is not familiar with the project sees it, they can have an idea like, oh, okay, he has the images, so probably the images are the images of the cars, and then the logos are for the logos that I was using, for example, for the social media icons. So that's where they at. And then the thumbnails, these are literally the same images, but the difference is, even though this one is these two are the same picture, the size of them are different. So instead of me like working with the size, I just made a separate folder with thumbnails, pictures to fit the size that I need in order to make it look presentable and professional as possible. So even though the thumbnails and the images have literally the exact images, the only difference is the thumbnail size images are smaller compared to the ones in the images. So one thing that I was doing as I was building the project is that before I even added the state here, I was literally importing every image that I had. So I literally had a bunch of imports on top of each other. It looked insane, and I'm like, wait, there has to be a better way to do this. And I remember working on the crash course, and I learned about the JSON files, how I can create sort of a mock API, and then I can actually extract the data from there. And that was a good challenge. I'm like, oh, let me create like this fake API. Let me see if I can do it. That way I don't have to import each image when I can just pass the path within the JSON file and then just pass it on and use that information. And that way I'm able to just pass it like this using a map array. And so that's what I did. And the way that I did it, I was very happy. I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult, but I remember just make an array of objects, or put objects inside an array. And then this is what I did. I put the ID of the vehicle, the category, the model, and then the image path. I didn't even know I could do that. I didn't know I was able to pass I thought I needed like to literally put the image inside the JSON file, but I learned like no, you just put the path, and when you pass it into the component where you want to render this information, the path itself will give you the image. So that was very cool. So you guys see that these sections are filled, but I still need to add feature, description, and price, because again, I'm building a project from scratch. So eventually I will have a price, I will have features and description of the vehicle. So when you click and looking into a car that you are interested in, you can see the features, description, and the price of the vehicle. So that was very exciting. I was like very proud of this. I know for some of you this is like not a big deal, but for me it was. Like I was able to create my own JSON file from scratch, and I was able to pass this information through here. And the way that I did it was I passed it on. I imported it through on my home component, and then what I did was I passed this JSON file as a prop here at the car preview component, and then I was able to use it as to pass this as a prop here, and that way I could use the information from this JSON file. So that was very cool to learn how to do that. So that was very, I don't know, I was like very proud of myself for that. And then I was able to pass the prop here with the information of the JSON file, and then I was able to pass that information onto specifically my thumbnails, because I didn't want to have, I wanted to make it as organized and make the code make sense. So I was able to do with a map array, I was able to create the thumbnails and the alt of the vehicle, and yeah, and I was able to pass the car models, and it took me some time, but again, I know for some of you this is not a big deal, but for me it was, and I was like so happy that I was able to get that done. And the fact that I'm even able to explain it, it's like, yes, it's making sense. So the other thing that I did, I wanted to create this effect, and the way that I did that was through using the state. So I created the state, and then I put the initial state to be crossover SUVs, because if you see on their website, their initial vehicle when you open the website is the Rogue. So I wanted to make sure that when you open my site, the first thing you see is the Rogue. And I was able to do that. And then what I was able to do I was able to filter by category each vehicle. So this is how I did it. I used a filter, and I was able to pass this information, and then to create the clicking effect, I just did this function, handle category, and I passed the selected category, and then I passed the category, which was a parameter passed from here. So I was able to pass this information here, and then I just use an on-click event. I passed the function, and what else? This was the function that I used to pass to each respective category. As you can see, crossover SUV, cars, trucks, blah blah blah, and that's how I was able to do it. And then lastly, I used the filter. I use this variable to be able to filter through the cars through a map array based on the category. So when I click, it shows the cars based on the category. So that was fun. And the last thing that I worked on for the yesterday and a little bit of today, I worked on the footer. And what I did, I just follow along the same design that they had. And again, this doesn't take you anywhere, but I just wanted to keep it nicely, and I'm going to be able to reuse it with the other components that I'm going to be building next. And then I created this effect that when I click, it gives me a different language. And I also added the icons for the social media, and I added this thing that they have here, the Nissan USA. So far, guys, that's the project. I know for some it might not be a big deal, but man, this is like very big for me. So I'm very happy with the project so far. And man, I can't wait like to give you guys every week updates on where I'm at with the project. Again, the goal is taking it from front end all the way to full stack. So I hope you guys like what you saw. If you have any comments, any recommendations, again, this is where the code is, and that's the project name. And yeah, I'm not going to take too much of your time. Have a great rest of your day, and see you on the next one. Peace.